name's Andriana, thank you for joining me, and I'm joined by the lovely former Welsh international rugby star, Shane Williams.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for asking. So we're going to get right into the keto story and all things keto. And how did you get into it, first and foremost? That'd be the first.
Yeah, that's probably the best question, isn't it, really, to start it? I probably stumbled upon it, really. I think as a rugby player, you know, the diet I was told that I needed was plenty of carbs, plenty of protein, good recovery, carbs will get you through the training. And being quite small in stature, coaches always were trying to put weight on me. So I basically could eat whatever I wanted. Okay. Then after obviously retiring from international rugby, started doing more aerobic training, bucket list things like London Marathon, which I loved.
Right,
nearly
things
killed
you couldn't
me.
do before, right?
Yeah, things I couldn't do before.
They're going to kill you.
The thought of running 26 miles never crossed my mind, but I did it. But it was tough. It was really tough, and I was, I didn't really know what diets I needed to do, etc. And the more I got into aerobic training, triathlon, cycling, sportifs, TT races, etc. I realised, well, look, Shane, you probably got to change your body shape slightly. Right. You got to change the way that you fuel your body, because you've gone from anaerobic to aerobic training, and a sprinter I was end of the day.
Right. Yes. And long distances.
Yes. So exactly. So I had to change the whole dynamics of how I worked, I think, and I tried other diets. I even tried going vegan. I loved I loved my meat too much.
It's hard,
that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Even paleo. I tried them all, and I just couldn't really. I wasn't really comfortable with any of that. And
so it's interesting. You found that eating more carbs, because you assume because it's long distance.
Yeah.
Oh, let's get the carbs in. You didn't find it helped you in that way. You still felt there was something wrong.
I didn't. I just felt like I couldn't get enough food into me. I would crash. They call it on the bike to bonk, isn't it? Where you just feel like absolute hell. And I went through that. I was going through that all the time, and I just couldn't get the diet right at all. And then I spoke to a friend of mine who said, "Have you heard of this keto diet?" And I was like, "Well, no. It's he's heard it from America." I said, "I haven't really heard much about it in the UK. What is it?" And he explained that, it's really trying to use energy from proteins and fats, and rather than using sugars and carbs, etc. And I started looking into it. I thought, look, this one, to begin with, a lot of the food you can eat on the keto diet, I loved. So that's always a good start.
Yes. Because it's got to be sustainable for life, really.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it.
Exactly. And it's, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be comfortable with what I'm eating, but also have, see the benefits from it. And I thought, look, I've given everything else a go. I'll give this a go. And I learned a little bit more about it first of all, and started the diet, and felt really comfortable on it initially. But like anyone else who knows the keto diet, you do go through those phases.
Yeah, we're laughing because we had this chat earlier.
We had the chat earlier,
that little sort of downturn of like just getting into it. You start to feel a little bit, but that's a good sign at the end of the day, right?
It is, because I'd read up on it, so I knew what was coming. So initially I felt great. The weight wasn't falling off, but I didn't expect it to. And my wife decided, look, if you're doing it, I'm going to do it, because we're going to be eating the same things in, and we'll support each other, which is lovely, isn't it? Until we started doing it at the same time. We got about 2 or 3 weeks in. Oh my God, it was like living with a different person. And she said the same about me. There was mood swings. We'd argue a lot, to the point where, oh my God, I'm going to end up killing my wife here.
But it's good to point that out, because people might be surprised by that, but it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means the transition is happening, but obviously at the time it's hard, right?
No. Look, it's not a good thing, because you don't want to go up and kill your wife.
Yeah, of course not.
But no, it's But I kind of knew it was coming, and I kind of briefed Gail over it, and I told her I showed her the cycle. This is what's
told
happening.
her, just go out for a while.
Yeah, we're not going through a bad patch. This is how it works.
Yeah.
And we got through that, and straight away I felt the benefits. I felt energized. I felt younger.
So how long into it do you think you started to feel that energy?
3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
And my wife was, came through it far better than I did,
Right.
and Gail started losing weight really quickly.
Right.
She's continued the diet, probably not as strict as I have, because I do IM and things like that, but she's kept that weight off. She's very happy now in herself because she's done that. And she's like me, she was eating foods that she liked and didn't have to feel guilty about doing it because it was part of the diet. And of course the supplements, Keto-Pro supplements helped as well. So, she's happy. She's still happy. Thank God. We're still married.
Yes.
We're still married. We got through
Everyone's
it.
alive.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. And for me personally, I could just start feeling the benefits of the diet itself, and then I moved on from there really. But started using the supplements. The funny thing is, I would look everywhere in the UK to try and get
it's a lot harder.
Supplements,
isn't it?
keto supplements. To,
good
for
ones
me,
as well.
Good ones especially, and there was a lot of companies out there that were charging an absolute fortune. There was pyramid schemes. There was this, that, and the other, and I was like, oh my God, this is not why I want to do it.
Either, do they? If you really need that knowledge and to understand it.
Well, there was no knowledge really. I'd look at some stuff and I was thinking, well, that's a complete gimmick. That's just trying to make money. That's just trying to get a pyramid system. It's probably making money. It's come over from America. They probably made money there. They come to the UK to take over. And I was thinking, well, that's not why I want to do it. I want to do it because I want to better myself. I want to lose weight. I want to, my performance is to improve. And I looked absolutely everywhere. Right. And obviously all online, and then the ironic thing is that I found Keto-Pro and I ordered from the company. Sounds like
a similar story to me, but
honestly, I had no idea who Keto-Pro were, and I was having the proteins, I was on the oils, C8 oils, and I was like, okay, this is great. There's no gimmicks here. I like the way they work. And then I had an email out of the blue from Richard, and he said, "Oh, thank you very much for your purchases. I know who you are. We didn't realise that you're trying the keto. How are you finding it? He was great, in fairness, so friendly. He had all this information for me, and anyone who speaks to Richard knows that he knows his stuff. Yeah.
And Richard's the owner of Keto-Pro and
yes,
founder.
Yes, Rich is the owner of Keto-Pro.
Yeah.
And right at the bottom, it was. You do realise I'm from Neath, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." Because Neath is, I don't even think it's 12 miles from my home. Right. The shop is 12 miles from my home. Say, Neath was the first professional rugby team I played for. Oh, the Knoll, the home pitch is a mile away, if that, a walking distance. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. This was meant to happen, and we just kept in touch, and I'm just really happy to be involved now because Rich and Sam and the rest of Keto-Pro are a hard-working group. They've started to make a real success of the business, and it's an absolute pleasure to be part of. So it was almost meant to happen. I think.
Sounds like it. Yeah, it's nice. So with the products, etc., how do you find they help? Obviously, because you were just doing the diet originally, and then with the products for your training, how do they help and add that little extra bit? Yeah,
well, I'm a kind of I don't take products for the sake of taking products. Here's a product I take and take a photograph on Instagram, whatever it is.
Yeah, you have to believe in it.
You have to believe in it, and I spoke to Rich, after we had a couple of emails back and forth and Zoom calls, obviously because of the nature of the circumstances, and I said, look, Rich, this is what I'm doing. I do Ironman every year. I do also love doing HIIT training sessions. I run a lot. I'm probably doing about 10 to 12 hours a week. What do you suggest? And I said, look, the only thing I know I need to take is protein. Right. So, Rich said, probiotic is, protein. It's got all the probiotics. It tastes nice. It fills you up. You're not going to need to keep eating in between meals, which will therefore help you keep the weight off or take weight off. I said, great. I said, gotta have chocolate. Gotta have chocolate. I don't like the strawberry one. Not that there's nothing wrong with the strawberry one, but
chocolate man. Yes.
So Rich started piling them over the chocolate ones, and I absolutely demolished those. And and then he said, look, what about the C8 oil, MCT oil, and help with your recovery and your training and so on and so forth. I said, well, great, if that's going to help me, and that is exactly what I need, let's do it. And started using the C8 oil and almost immediately felt the benefits of that in my training. And then things like electrolytes. One of the issues I found that when I was training, when I played rugby, I was always told, look, you've got to hydrate, you take these electrolytes, but I was never the kind of person that cramped up, or I always felt hydrated, and I never really felt lethargic. But, with you said, look, it's a different ball game, aerobic training, long distance stuff. And I found that out the hard way. I did a triathlon in Swansea, and from probably about 10 minutes into the swim, right to the end of the run to finish it, I cramped up massively, to the point where I was thinking, God, this can't be cramp. I'm in so much pain here.
It's too bad to be just a simple cramp.
It's got to be something else. And Rich then, kind of explained the benefits of these electrolytes and what they had in them, and he said, look, just try it and try a couple of training sessions, see how it goes. And it was like an instant relief.
It's mad, isn't it? Just electrolytes. People don't you underestimate it. Even I underestimate how.
And they do. And we've had electrolytes today, and it's it just perks you up, and it just gets you ready, and it certainly helps me with my things like pre-workout as well. I take pre-workout powder as well, and which is great. I've done 800 mile bike challenge in February, a Guinness record around Wales.
Wow.
That's all I had on my bike was the electrolytes, the C8 oils, and the performance, which is the pre-workout. And people were like, surely you're gonna have to have some carbs to be doing this. And I felt like I didn't need a single carb the whole trip. And I was eating meats while I was riding, cheese, eggs.
All the rest of them having those gels, and you're just
gels, and
meats.
don't even go there with gels. That's something I will never do. I'm not even going to go into the story with gels, but but I don't need them. I don't need them anymore. And I go out riding with my mates, and I'm slowly kind of telling them and converting them and telling them, look, you will not need a single carb on these long bike rides. Trust me. And I'm getting to the end of these rides. Of course I'm tired and fatigued. It's difficult, but the boy's like, I can't believe you've just done that, and you haven't had a single carb. And I'm like, well, my body's used to it now, and I'm feeding off my fats, therefore I'm losing weight.
I suppose your recovery is better as well. Would you say your recovery, compared to other people?
Without doubt. I think recovery, again, was one of those big things that I wasn't used to, because as a rugby player, you get your bumps, you get your bruises.
Right,
sometimes you get worse, but your recovery is a massage and perhaps ice and looked after, and pampered as I was. Pampered. Nice. Yeah. But when you've just run, a half marathon, or you've cycled 100 mile bike ride, you wake up the next morning, you feel like you've been hit by a bus. I was getting aches and pains in places I didn't know you could get aches and pains as a rugby player. Shin splints, glutes, even triceps. I was cramping up and I felt like
your
I was
whole body's
pulling
like inflamed, isn't it? It's the inflammation from all the
I just wasn't used to the amount of training or competing I was going to do, and and that's why I'm probably, in all honesty, I'm more concerned about taking the protein and the C8 oils and the electrolytes now than I was when I was playing, because I didn't have those issues. And it's helped me massively, because look, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say it's a miracle. I'm Lazarus. There's nothing wrong with me anymore. I'm 44 years old. I feel the aches and pains a lot more than I used to. So I feel that it's more important that I need to be taking those now, and I have, and touch wood, I feel much better for these competitions and the training I'm doing.
It's amazing. So if you could go back to yourself when you were playing rugby, do you think, obviously it was a different sport, but do you think it would have helped you even more if you'd been keto then? It's a difficult one, and I always think that. I think I'm probably more anal in my training and in my diet and in the supplements I take now. Older and wiser, as they say, isn't it? But so in that sense, I think it could massively have helped me.
as a younger player. One, you know, to get in better physical shape.
Yeah.
I think it would have helped.
Yeah.
Also, two, preparing me for recovery, which I never really took too serious as a young pup. You just play 80 minutes, you score a hat trick, you go and have a beer. Next morning, you don't worry about it. Oh, I'm fine. I'm young. I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah.
It's not the case, you know. So I've got that in my.
Why not?
It isn't, but you know, I thought it was. Well, we all thought it was, didn't we? So that's the difference now. I'm far wiser, and like I said, I'm far more anal in the sense where, you know, I've constantly got a protein shake with me because I need my body to recover more than I had to when I was playing, because I was probably a bit more resilient there, young and youthful. But you know, I think with the knowledge I know now, the knowledge that I've received from Richard and Keto-Pro, that I think it could have helped me massively as a young player coming through. I think I'd have been fitter. I think I'd have been healthier. And I think mentally as well, you know, you talk about physical.
Yeah, there's a lot of the big mental aspect.
Yeah, just I feel more mentally clear. The clarity of when I'm training or you know, or post or pre-training, I'm far more clear in what I want to do. And as a professional rugby player, or an international rugby player as well, you've got to have that clarity in the top 2 inches as well. So I think it would have helped me massively, really, in all honesty.